It's over. It's over. Knicks fans, this is not a dream. Your long, long wait has ended. Go ahead and cry. After 53 years, the Knicks are finally NBA champions once again.
Right through the very heart of it, New York, New York.
53 years. 53 years.
I know.
53 years. It's finally over. For years I've been tortured. They actually associated us with the Cowboys. It's all over. It's all over. Finally. Finally.
The drought is over.
Finally. Oh.
I didn't make this video last night or didn't react last night because I didn't know what video I was going to make. I didn't know how I wanted to go about this. On top of that, before this video, I literally did record a 44-minute video pretty much going through the history of the Knicks, how we got here, all that. 44 minutes, by the way. And I said to myself, you know what? Let's just do this in the best way that we can. So here we go. First and foremost, you know what it is. Hey, you know what it is. If you don't know, now you know. You feel me? If you don't know, now you know. Last night, history was made as the New York Knicks are the 2026 NBA champions. A title that franchise hasn't seen since 1973. A year where I was not born, I didn't exist, I didn't know what was happening. I didn't come alive until 18 years later. So I'm proud to say that in my 35 years of living, I was able to see the Yankees win the World Series. I was able to see the New York Giants win the Super Bowl. And I was alive to see the Knicks win a title. Man, my city was in shambles last night. Like, oh my God. Yo, thank God I don't go outside, because if I did, I don't even know what would happen with me. Sometimes I just don't know. Because, man, downtown was nuts. But, hey. Knicks walking into these finals, honestly, actually walking into the playoffs, not even the finals, walking into the playoffs, I wasn't sure exactly where we would be. I didn't. With, the season that we had, which was probably a step back from last season, I didn't know what we were in for, but we were in for something interesting, something special, I say. We go round one against the Atlanta Hawks. And at first we were down 2-1. City was going crazy. People were mad. People were saying, oh, Knicks going to get eliminated, all this. I don't know why there was so much hope in Atlanta, but that's what it was. And then, before you know it, Jalen Brunson said, I got this. Just, let's go. Put everybody on his back, and we get out in 6. Game 6 being the most lopsided game, or one of the most lopsided games I've ever seen in my life. Oh, my God. The Knicks whooped Atlanta. Whooped them bad. Whooped them bad. As we move on to the second round, as we take on the Philadelphia 76ers, who just beat Boston in 7 games, so they're tired. Embiid looking like himself, so that's not a good thing when you got Embiid looking like Embiid. Maxey doing his thing, Paul George contributing very well. The team looked good, but the team wasn't good enough because the Knicks swept them in 4. So I was like, okay, we're back where we were last season, the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm like, okay, All right. Who we take on? We take on the Cleveland Cavaliers, a team that we did face in the playoffs a couple years ago. But this ain't the same team from a couple years ago. It's the same because this was a Cavaliers team that got rid of Darius Garland and got James Harden in a midseason trade. And in that second half of the season, they were going a little crazy, to the point where they were probably the best team in the East in the second half of the season. And they just took the best team in the East, the Detroit Pistons, to 7 games and actually won. So now I'm like, okay, I don't know how we're going to go about this, but we got a lot of rest. We feeling good. We should be all right. Game 1, down 22. About fourth quarter, down 22. I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. Well, looks like, that rest was, we had too much rest. Then you know what Jalen Brunson did again? I got this. Put the team on his back. Killed James Harden. Isolation. Was able to cut the lead, tie the game, head to overtime, and get it done. And from there, that was the only game I could sit here and say the Cavaliers could have won. But unfortunately, Cleveland got swept as well. So the Knicks walk into the NBA Finals in 2 sweeps. Knicks are looking unstoppable. They're beating teams by a margin of, about 20 a game? That's nuts. I mean, they're not beating teams. They're destroying teams. Head to the NBA Finals, have about almost 2 weeks of rest as we wait for their opponents, who would eventually be the San Antonio Spurs, who are coming to the finals for the first time since 2014. Last time they were in the finals, they actually won the NBA title. So a lot going on with the San Antonio Spurs. They beat Portland, I think, in 5 or 6. I forget which. But they advanced against Portland in the first round. Faced the Wolves, beat them in 6. They went on to the conference finals to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder in 7 games. Took it all the way to 7, and the Spurs outlasted the Thunder and got it done. Victor Wembanyama looking amazing. He's looking real good in his very first playoffs. Takes him all the way to the finals. Victor Wembanyama's looking good. Stephon Castle's looking good. Devin Vassell's looking good. Champagne's looking good. De'Aaron Fox is looking good. That bench is looking good. Dylan Harper's looking good. Everybody is looking good. So I think we are looking into a series. Game 1. Knicks go up double digits. Spurs go up double digits. Knicks fight back. Knicks win. Game 2. Same story. Spurs go up double digits. Knicks fight back. Knicks win again. Heading into 2-0 to MSG. We're game 3. Spurs go up, and they finally keep their momentum. They keep their lead. And they take game 3. So far, no team has home court advantage. Okay. Which means this, at that time, I'm thinking, okay, now we're getting into a series. I'm with it. I ain't gonna talk about game 3 because apparently the only thing people want to talk about is Donald Trump in that game. I'm like, okay. Like, Donald Trump was the reason why the Knicks played sloppy. Like, okay, that's ignorant thinking. But you know what? Do you? You know what I'm saying? Do you? As we headed to game 4, that will go down as one of the greatest games you will ever see. I hope somebody, actually, if I got that on YouTube TV, I may want to watch that game again. I may want to watch that game again. That game was nuts, bro. Spurs come out in the first quarter, guns blazing, shooting and making everything. They weren't missing. Not one basket was missed. None of that. Nuts. It was crazy. To the point where come halftime, it's 76-49. Translation, game's over. Game's over. All Spurs got to do is maintain this lead. Don't go crazy, don't do nothing. Just maintain. Spurs did the opposite. They did what got them the lead. And that is where the problem lies. Just because you did this to get here, that doesn't mean you should continue it. And our third quarter, I just watched that lead trim, just small, not crazy, just small. To the point where by the end of the third, it was a 15-point game. So the Knicks were fighting. But it's fourth quarter time. I don't know how much fight they had left in them. I think the Knicks had a lot of fight left in them because you know what Jalen Brunson did? I got y'all. But then OG on the other side was like, hey, you ain't doing this by yourself. I got y'all too. And the combination of Jalen Brunson and OG Anunoby brought this game back. With a little help from Jose Alvarado off the bench as well. Boys were cooking. That fourth quarter was something. That fourth quarter was something to watch, bro. To the point, Jalen Brunson hits this three. They're down one. And then Jalen Brunson hits this layup. They have the lead. That Jalen Brunson layup would actually mean that they would be up three if Josh Hart actually, when he got the ball and actually scored it instead of missing a layup. Like, I don't know why he missed that layup. That would have been crazy. That would have been crazy if that was one reason why we lost. And then like a minute or so after, he fouls Stephon Castle. Stephon Castle makes both free throws. So the Spurs have a lead. Got a couple seconds. Brunson got the ball. Victor Wembanyama is right in front of him. I think somebody else on the side of him. I think it was Stephon Castle on the side of him. So Brunson shoots this three. Wasn't even a regular three. It was a bit far. Shoots the three. Bricks it. Then OG Anunoby, out of nowhere, I don't even know how he did it. But OG, there was like 3 to 4 Spurs, like 3 Spurs in the paint trying to get that rebound. OG jumps, and all you see is his arm all the way up. Able to tip the ball in the bucket. And the Knicks have the lead with 1 second left to go. That moment was so crazy. Nuts. So then, after they played a little bit of defense for that 1 second, the Knicks complete the greatest comeback in finals history. Down 29. Take a 3-1 lead, which means they took back home court advantage. They got one. Yeah, I'm definitely watching that game again. I got to, bro. I got to. That's history. That's history. You have to. Then last night came. I had a lot of hope the Spurs would win. And it would make me feel good because that way they would have won. The Knicks would have won the championship in New York. But considering fact how everybody reacted last night in New York, I think it was probably best that they won it in San Antonio. Oh, my God. So Game 5 happens. Spurs up double digits. For most of the game, they were up double digits. Well, for a good amount of the game, they were up double digits. That second quarter, Knicks fought back, cut it to 5 at halftime. To be honest, the whole game was pretty sloppy. They were both missing. Everybody was missing shots. Not everybody was working as well as they did. Hell, Victor Wembanyama didn't really do what I thought he'd do. I thought he would drop like 30, 40, something like that. You know who dropped 40? I gotcha. Mr. Jalen Brunson himself. Because while Spurs had the lead and they had the momentum, Jalen Brunson kind of sat here and said to himself, you know what? I got y'all. Let me handle this. And he handled it. Because everybody was struggling. Towns was struggling. He was in foul trouble. He fouled out with only 2 points in 21 minutes. He barely was on the court. OG was in foul trouble. He wasn't making none of his shots. The Knicks bench was not doing anything at all. Like, that Knicks bench was locked down. Mikal did something. He had 13 points at the end. Josh Hart had a double-double. So Brunson just took it upon himself. You know what? I got this. I'm going to take you out of the promised land. On the other side, as I said, Victor Wembanyama didn't really go. He didn't have 20. Victor only had 19 last night. Stephon Castle couldn't make a bucket for his life. Champagny had a good game. De'Aaron Fox, I don't even know what De'Aaron Fox did last night. I didn't even talk about the De'Aaron Fox blunder, but we ain't about to talk about that. It's not about him. Dylan Harper off the bench. Man, listen. I got to give Dylan Harper flowers, man. I got to. That boy is something special, man. Once they give him the starting role, it's over, man. It is done. That boy going to be a star. That boy shined in the finals. He going to be a star, I promise you. But Game 5, Spurs lost the lead in the fourth quarter. They lost all the momentum in the fourth quarter. And just like that, Knicks in 5. Knicks get it done. And we are the NBA champions, baby. We are the NBA champions. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love it. Feels like a dream. Feels like something I never thought I'd ever see happen. At least not in this century. But it happened. So I'm going to give my shout-outs. I'm going to give a shout-out to Julius Randle. I think he needs a shout-out because without him, none of this even starts. He brought us back to relevancy. So shout out to Julius Randle. He deserves all the love. Shout out to Tom Thibodeau. Even though Thibodeau wasn't, the greatest coach in the world, he definitely got us to where we needed to be. Hell, if it wasn't for him, last season, I don't even know if we make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, got to give some love to Tom Thibodeau, man. I hate that you couldn't get this ring, but I thank you for giving us the blueprint to get us to where we needed to be. Shout out to Dante DiVincenzo. I know, he only had one season with us, really. But but the one season he had, he did give us some moments and gave us numbers. So I gotta give him some love because without him, I don't know where we would be. You know what I'm saying? There's parts to every puzzle. He was a part of it. So shout out to Dante DiVincenzo. Shout out to Mitchell Robinson. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he's the longest tenured Knick on this team. So shout out to him for still being here. Shout out to him for sticking around. Shout out to him being one of the best backup centers you can have. Shout out to him being one of the best rebounders you can ever have. Shout out to Mitchell Robinson, man. Salute to him. Shout out to Jose Alvarado. We picked him up during mid-season of this season. And he's been a hell of an addition for us. All the energy, all the defense that he can give us. Hey, shout out to Jose. Brooklyn Zone. Shout out to him. Shout out to Josh Hart. That man got a lot of flack. He gets a lot of flack. But if you want somebody to be scrappy, you want somebody to do the dirty work, you want that, he's one of those guys that can do that. He'll go get a rebound if he wants to. He'll pass the ball if he needs to. If you want a shot from him, one to score, he'll do that. That's a Swiss Army knife, bro. You gotta appreciate people like that. And I appreciate Josh Hart. Because without you, damn it, I don't know where we would be. So shout out to Josh Hart. Shout out Mikal Bridges. I know you didn't really have a good season this season. And before the finals, you didn't really have a good playoffs. But man, you don't miss games. You like Iron Man in this league. When you needed, you do what you got to do. So I appreciate you very much so. You've learned New York for as long as you could. You already know what it takes. I'd rather have Mikal Bridges than most. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mikal. Shout out to OG Anunoby. Anunoby Lane. Anunoby Avenue. Anunoby Street. I don't know, but he needs something. You know what I'm saying? That boy was doing work in the finals, man. Shout out to him. Shout out OG Anunoby. That game winner that he hit in game 4 will be remembered for a long time. You were a big piece to this. Congratulations to you, brother. You didn't get to play in the finals when you won that ring in 2019, but you definitely played in here, and you showed that you belong here. Shout out to the 2-time champ, OG. Shout out Mike Brown. I didn't know what type of coach you were going to be when you got here. I was iffy when you got here because I know how you were in Sacramento. You did bring the Kings back to relevance for 1 year. But unfortunately, you didn't really do that well for the rest of it. So, I was a little iffy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll tell you how it is. But you coach this team. You used the bench, something Thibodeau didn't do. You used the bench. You believed in your guys, and they believed in you. And they took you, and you took them to the promised land. I got to give you all the love in the world for that, man. Shout out to Mike Brown. Who let the dogs out? Who? Shout out to the big bodega. Shout out to Karl Anthony Towns, man. Towns, I think it was game 4, I believe. Game 2, game 4, I forget which game it was, but he was talking about, how he felt his mother was watching him as he was playing. And that hit me. That hits me, man, because, my mother is my everything. You know what I'm saying? And I would hate to ever feel the type of pain that he feels. But I know he's happy because he did it for her. Rest in peace to his mother, man. Shout out to Towns, man. You came onto this team and you were the missing piece. You were one of the missing pieces. Because ever since you got here, man, we've been to the conference finals and the finals, man. Come on, man. He been putting in that work. He's looked good these playoffs, man. Hey, I got to shout out Towns, man. Shout out to the big bodega. Bodega's open 24 hours. And last but not least, we got to talk about him. Shout him out. The captain. The king of New York. Shout out to Jalen Brunson. I said it before and I say it again. I thought when he signed here about 3 to 4 seasons ago, I thought he wasn't worth that $100 million. And in a way, I still believe that he ain't worth $100 million. Now I believe you're worth $400 million. Hell, maybe $500 million. Brother, your legacy here is stamped forever. Forever. Can nobody take what you have done for this city? Shout out to you, Jalen Brunson. You will forever be a Knicks legend. I would shout out all the Knicks that got us here, man, but that's too long of a list. And we're going to be here all day. But, hey, shout out to all of them that got us here, man. Shout out to all the Knicks that have graced us, man. Listen, man. It feels like a dream, but the reality is we are NBA champions. Shout out to the New York Knicks. And that would be it. So until then, it's been Rose, man. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the love and support as always, man. All right. Yesterday, I posted my first 007 First Flight video. Now, I got 2 more left to post. But right now, we gotta get going with it. Because I don't go back to work until Thursday. So I got at least 3 more days to work on this. And hopefully be done with it at some point. But we'll see how things are. You already know what it is, man. So until next time, peace, love, 100. You heard?